for tuning in. This is a space where we did not pretend to have life figured out, a space where we get real about the things that actually go on in life. I talk about the confusion, the pressure, the doubts we do not usually talk about out loud. But in this channel, what I have made myself figure out is how do we find a purpose in this confusion that we have? How do we make ourselves feel that, okay, we are secure enough, we are not in a hurry to be anywhere? So, thank you so much for if you're new to this channel, um, welcome. And if you have been listening or if you have been part of this channel for quite some time, then I really appreciate you um, popping up here and just listening to what I have to yipper about anything that comes to my mind. Okay, so I have pomegranate. These days, I've been eating a lot of pomegranates. The thing is that I feel like this is something that you enjoy eating. What about you? Do you guys like pomegranate? So, guys, a genuine question to you guys. Do you feel like you are late in life? Because these days, the question that pops up to my mind is, am I late in life? Because it feels like everyone else got a Google Calendar invite and I'm still refreshing my inbox like, hello, life, spam folder. check just check this spam folder. At this age, people are getting married, promoted, buying houses, having babies, and I'm like, today I drink water and I reply to emails. Productivity is like whole level of like CEO. That's what I go about in life these days. So if you've ever looked at someone your age and thought, wait, how are you already doing so well and I'm still deciding my career personality? I mean, congratulations to all of that. However, if you're one of us who feels that or who comes up with all these questions in our mind whenever we are alone or whenever we are not speaking to anyone, then this video is for you. I feel like society has a fixed timeline. We have this uh, saying that by age 18 you have to be able to choose your career. By 22 you graduate, and by 25 you have to get a job and glow up, I would say. And by 27 marriage pressure starts, and by 30 kids, house, investments, maturity, and this inner peace that we have to find because we've literally struggled this whole life that we have, right? And I'm like, at 26 I am just learning how to book train tickets properly, to be really honest. Because whenever I go to a new place, one thing that I do is that I do not know if you can relate with me on this. I will just check for the bus tickets, the availability of it. And mind you, I've never traveled via train. I've never traveled via train. It's just one of the experience that I've never had. I would love to experience that in future. But whenever I go to like places, most of the times like Himachal side, I always go by bus only. Uh, Maybe I feel like the reason why I choose bus is because I feel like it's more convenient for me. So that is the reason why. However, coming back to the topic, so why does society talk like life is a race? I mentioned this before in previous videos. However, these are few of the questions that comes to our mind. Who are we racing? Where is the finish line? Why is no one giving medals? And the worst part is like your relatives. You do not know what comes to the mind that we have as our relatives. I do not know what comes to their mind. It's just that maybe they are asking all these questions from a place where they feel like, okay, this is my nephew, this is my niece, so I would love to get to know how are things going in the life that they are living. Maybe that is the reason why. However, those questions makes us feel or question every life choices that we have made. um that is maybe that is the reason why in Indian society, most of the times whenever we have a get together, let's say celebration and all, we tend to run away from our relatives. So maybe that is the reason why. And when it comes to all this question that comes to our mind, uh it feels like you cannot even say those phrase like it is just a temporary phase, because at that moment you feel like, oh, like auntie, uncle, this is just a temporary phase that I'm in. I'm just preparing for an exam or like that, right? But just how long can we uh, make them understand, or how long do we have to explain the situation that it's not easy surviving in this world that we have? And keeping that aside, we really do have this social media also. You know what, social media really said that let me ruin your mental peace for free, because I feel like social media is also one place where you will find comfort. You will learn a lot of things when that has to do with life. However, whenever you open Instagram for like 5 minutes, suddenly you see all this: someone bought a house, someone got married, someone started a startup, someone is traveling Europe, someone your age is giving this TED talk, amazing TED talk, right? And you're sitting in bed like, I just woke up. Why am I already tired? Maybe the exhaustion has to come with the fact that like our mental we do not find a mental peace. I feel like it. So, and the chances that we take in life is something that is very precious. um However, whenever you see all these people enjoying their life, and mind you, good for them, they must have put a lot of effort just to be where they are. But it feels like everything has to do with five-star resort with free motivational quotes and all, right? And nobody really posts this um, with captions like, today I cried, doubted myself, and ate instant noodles again. But that's the real journey. Because what I do is that whenever I am feeling down, whenever I am back from my shift, what I normally do is that I will just get some instant noodles and then cook it, um, and then just start enjoying it for that moment. That's how I try to find a comfort in the life that we are living. Uh, Having said that, I feel like friends are also one of the biggest trigger that we have. Um, I know that whenever we talk about friends and all, and it's very difficult for us to accept this fact, especially when you love the friendship that you have with your friends. I feel like whenever you see your friends getting married, getting engaged, um, and your friend is going abroad, however you cannot go because of XYZ reason, and one friend is like earning a double salary and all, and you find yourself emotionally rich, financially you're like still learning. And when they ask, so what's your plan, and I'm like, plan, I barely have clarity in life. So I feel like the plan that we have is to just survive, pay bills, just muster the courage to not cry in like public, and I and whenever you have this like people around you, you do not want to act like everything is falling apart, and you just want to go straight to the staircase, and then you feel like just being alone. There was a time when I was part of this one campaign in my office. I was very new to that department, and I did not know what to do. I I could care less about the about making friends there. I could care less about having to have good having to have a good relationship with my colleagues. I do not know why. I went completely shut, and I was just trying to find a way to be done with all this, with the day. So when I was in that situation, I would literally go to the empty spaces that we have, and the empty spaces was mainly the staircase. So I used to spend a lot of time there. And whenever we are whenever I was done with my shift timing, or whenever I have week offs and all, what I will do is that I would just lie down in my bed. However, that fear that whispers at 2 a.m., my gosh, is the worst. I have all these questions that what if I messed up? What if I'm too late? And you also start questioning your life choices, like, did you take a wrong degree, wrong career, wrong timing, wrong universe, and nobody tells you that feeling lost is actually normal. It's not failure that comes to my mind whenever I see all this people having the like, even if they are having the best time of their life, sometimes as a human being we start questioning about the life choices, and that is the moment where I feel like it's just life not following the brochure, I would say. So because honestly, if everyone reached the same milestone at the same time, life would be boring in a way, even if we have uh a certain time frame that we have to follow, as I mentioned before, when it comes to like reaching a certain age, like 18, 22, 25, and all, right? um at times life would feel like it is a school assembly. And what I've come to a realization as I talk about this is that um, there is no universal deadline for success. Life is not milk that expires at 30. Um, some people find love at 40, but for me, I did not want to wait till 40, to be really honest. And some change careers at 35, some discover confidence at like 28, some find peace at 50, and some of us want to make a YouTube video like I am at 26. Um, and some people do everything on time and still feel empty in a way. Being early doesn't mean being happy. Being late also doesn't mean being failed. It just means you're on your timeline, custom made, and it is also a limited edition. And I realized something. I'm not late. I just took the scenic route with potholes and emotional traffic. Also, half of us are not late. We're just taking our time to heal, I would say. So that is the reason why uh, whenever I am in office, what I always make myself realize is that you have to unlearn something just to learn the next step. So what we can do is unlearn it and try again. And honestly, that takes time. So next time someone asks why are you still figuring things out, I would just smile and say that because I'm doing it properly. If you're watching this and feeling behind, I see you. I hope it reaches you. You're not late, you're not slow, you're not failing. You are just human in a world that rushes everything. Life isn't a competition, it's a process. And please trust me on this. I also am learning on how I can progress all this, but trust me, the fact that you're questioning, reflecting, trying means you're already doing better than you think. So breathe, um, take your time. Your chapter is still being written and it's going to make sense. Just not according to society's schedule that we have. And we have our own schedule, and we are the one who will make time for ourselves, not the society. I hope this message finds you well, and I will enjoy my pomegranate. I was just peeling it. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to me, and thank you so much for being part of this. And please do like, share, and subscribe because apparently that also has a timeline, right? Bye.